Hey, CRT Matt here, and today I have another unboxing for you. This time it's Kings of War Champions, the two-player starter set, the evil versus the good, the Bastillions versus the Army of the Abyss. Now this is more character-driven, and it's also small model count, and has a very narrative type feel to it, where it follows the characters who have some more fluff behind them. And it also follows a storyline, which is great. My kids have never been interested in Kings of War or any kind of large battle because of the amount of models that are on the table and the amount of models that you have to buy and paint and build and put on the table itself. But with this game, it actually is an entry point, and they looked at it and said, oh, wow, yeah, I might want to play that. I even got a friend who doesn't play miniature war games. He plays hex and counter games, and he said that he would get this and paint these up and play this style of game. There's not a list building aspect to it. Well, there is and there isn't. It's just set up for you, ready to go, easy to learn, quick to put on the table, not a lot of model count. Because the biggest thing we struggle with as war gamers is these large battle games. And the reason why we play some skirmish style games and things like that is because the amount of modeling and amount of painting of the miniatures that go into this game. But this here allows you to do a little bit at a time, follow a storyline while you're doing it, and get some playtime in for a game that is really, really awesome. So we're going to open this up. Okay, so this is in the two-player starter set big box, which I love these boxes. Hang on to these, because really, you can get some foam and put it in here and cut out for your figures, and it'll hold your figures very well. So hang on to that box. So we got a bunch of D6s, which is fantastic. I love that they include dice. And then you've got the new Mantic style basing, which is great because this is the troop size here. This is a large infantry size here, and chariot sizes as well. Now, I like to put my units, if I know I'm going to be building troops, you put them together, they become a regiment in the large game. But I love how they include this, and this is for the large infantry. But then you can make it a regiment, and then you can stick two more and still make a scenic base, but they're in the troop size, and they're still easy to move around on the table. So I love this. I love that they're doing this over the individual bases and the movement trays. There's two Resin heroes, which is cool, and we'll look at those in a moment. But then we have the new plastics. And my goodness, am I happy, for lack of a better phrase, about these. These are amazing, and they will accept the plastic glue that you weld them together, and I think that they're just the new sculpts. There's not much more I could say about it. I'm stumbling on my words. So here are the horses, because you're going to get some cab with this game from the Bastillions, Bastillions, however you want to say it. Nice looking plastic. My goodness. Bravo, Mantic. Bravo. Here's your large Demons of Abyss. Your large ones, your large troops. Which is awesome. And the detail on them is fantastic. And here's your Snake Man. Forgive me, I don't remember their names. And you get some troops. There's 5. And I can show you what they look like there a little bit. These are your Bastillion troops. You get 5, 10, 15 of those looks like. Yes, 15. And, oh, there's 20. So you get a regiment's amount of Bastillions infantry with shields. think think, yeah, there's the shields. Yep. Then we have the horrors. The horrors of the abyss. These are very cool. I went ahead and opened everything so you guys can get a better look. So here is the human Bastillions, shields, and bodies. Bastillions. And here is the other sprue, which they can be made into hand sword and shield or crossbowmen from the looks of it, or big two-handed weapons. So really you could build them any way you'd like right out of the box. So, and of course you do get 20 of those, which should be easy to take care of. And here's your demons, or your armies of the abyss, which they have shields, they have two-handed weapons you can build and kit them out with. So hand weapon, shield, two-handed weapons. Looks like they got a little pokey trident. And their heads. Looks like one's got a drum. Just very, very nice plastics. Now you get 2 of those, so that would create 10 altogether of those. I'm sure you can kit these out a couple different ways, or you can kit these out a couple different ways, I'm sure, right out of the box. So the Bastillions, you get the knights riding their horses. You get some smaller, lesser demons. You get big troll size and ogre size armies of the abyss, and you get one nasty snake person. So there you have it. Next thing in the box is the cards. Now these are profiles for everything in the box. So this is the hero or the champion. These are watchmen. These are guardians. These are, I don't even know how to say that. Now, Gnaus's lions? I don't know. And then you have something called faction orders, which is special rules that you can use in the game with the icons that are used on the tokens. So more on that when I go through the how to play. And the armies of the abyss, you get the Bloody Cardinal, which is the resin model, which I forgot to mention, the heroes are resin models, and these are the 2 heroes. And it gives you a little bit of his special rules. He's a champion's rule, feast and famine, and of course their profiles, which is the same as a Kings of War profile. The Crackling Choir, you can actually, this is in the list, Kings of War building lists that you can make using the companion app.
Try the Mantic companion app.
The Slithering Bishop. The Macabre Missionaries. Those are those ogre-sized fellas. And then you got your faction orders, which have the runes on them here, and their special rules. So this is a Battle Rage. When this order is revealed, the unit may immediately take 1 point of damage in order to gain +1 attack for the subsequent round. No nerve roll is required. So those are the battle cards. Now this here is the assembly guide, which is great, which I will do individual videos on how you assemble everything in this kit. Here's the Bloody Cardinal there. Tells you exactly what you need to do. The Slithering Bishop. And the Bloody Cardinal, of course. Well, this is the Bloody Cardinal set, and this is the big Macabre Missionaries. And then, of course, you get your token set. These are the tokens used throughout the game. This is for arcs, which is great using it in regular Kings of War. So these are multi-purpose. And these are victory point counters, a little measuring stick. There is a base for terrain for your trees. And if you got the 3D terrain set, which I do have, you can just put the trees on top of here. And that would act as your base. Then, of course, we got another 45-degree angle measurement tool. And we've got some objective markers. And here are the rune markers that I was talking about, are rune tokens that you're going to use in the game as well. And here's the rocky area that you can, if you got the 3D terrain, you can just put it on top of that. These are the walls. Same thing goes for that. The 3D terrain, which I do recommend you guys getting with this kit because it does add another level to your games. We'll look at the other side here. The walls are stone or in the snow because you can play this in the wintertime. So there you go. So that's what you get with that. We set that to the side here. Running out of room. Okay, one of the last things in this box is your terrain mat. Now, I'm not going to open this up and show you guys because it's just too big. But it's two-sided. One's a frozen land, and the other one is a grassland. Now, I have the Terrain Crate Grasslands mat right here. I'm just going to have to mark out the battlefield because the battlefield is actually smaller than the one you would play in Kings of War. And it is literally exactly the same as the mat I have lying down on the table. I believe the map is, it's half the size of your normal 6x4 map. And then, of course, we got the rule book. The Kings of War Champions rule book. Now, this game does use D6s like the big game. But you don't have to do all the list building. And of course, there is the background. The best part of this whole game here is the background on each one of the characters that was specifically created for champions, which is awesome. Murder birds. And here's the backgrounds, Forces of the Abyss. This is the Bloody Cardinal, the champion, and the background for Alanis. So now let's look at the resin figures that come in this kit and the two-player starter set. So now these are fantastic. Very nice resin. Now these need to be cleaned up with soap and water. Just a heads up on that. They have a little bit of flash right here. Ooh, look, they have a mantic symbol in the bottom. They have a little bit of flash you can cut off. That's easy, simple stuff. Nice detail. Whew, man. Boy, they're stepping it up with their resin and stuff. So here is the bottom. Now this is going to fit in very nicely into this base right here. Doesn't right now because I have some flash. Oh, look at that. It fit right in. Man, that's nice looking. So this, now I do want to say that, as you can see, one of his horns broke off. Not a problem. Why? Because it was in the bag and I can easily, no sweat, glue this back on here without an issue. But remember, open your bags carefully. Stuff like this can happen, to make sure you still have the pieces. And now for Alanis. And she is in 4 pieces. No sweat. Easy peasy. So here's a look at the base, which of course is beautiful. The stonework. And this of course is resin as well. And you have her feet. It looks like you got a little bit of flash to clean up, but no sweat. You just take a very high grit sandpaper and that will take that off fairly quickly. But there you go. Already fits perfect. Now, of course, you got to cut that flash off right there to get the upper torso on with the cape. And we'll look at her right now. So there she is. That's her upper torso. And the cape. Always with the wings, the Basileans. And of course her spellbook. Which is cool, because when I paint this up, I'm going to paint some symbols and some words in there. I think that's pretty awesome that they include that on the model. I think that's really neat. So there you have it. 4 pieces for the Basileans Wizard Champion. So that's the background information. There's literally not a lot of rules in here. There's the Champions phase, which uses those rune cards, and you can use those specific Champions rules. It's a lot like the command dice mechanic that's in Firefight and in Kings of War. So there you have it, folks. That is Kings of War Champions. Ta-ta!